Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, thank you all for tuning into Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Germ, and today I just wanted to talk about the recent controversy that has been surrounding Tyler, the Creator. Basically, it all started a couple days, about a week ago, when he came out with a post memorializing the late singer D'Angelo. As you all know, it was tragic. D'Angelo, pioneer, neo soul, very important person. Like, he's influenced a lot of motherfuckers, Tyler being one of them. And so he came out, paid his respects. And the problem was that a lot of his fan base, admittedly so, he has a diverse fan base. A lot of his fans are not black. So a lot of people who might not have had really familiarity with that type of music, with D'Angelo, with all of his work, they were dismissive. They were like, "Who the heck is this?" A lot of other stuff, and just ruffled feathers. Motherfuckers like, "Why the fuck is y'all talking about this?" Like, D'Angelo is loved by niggas. Love D'Angelo. So it brought up this conversation about Tyler, about his past, because Tyler is somebody who has done a lot of edgelord, a lot of real just. I thought that's the best word. He was an edgelord. He was a nigga that did a lot of like corny, goofy shit back in the day. And this was before he got his fame. This was before he really got his mainstream acceptance that he got really post Flower Boy and everything like that. So people are just looking back at him, and there's a whole like new wave of fans of his that are just discovering it, and it's just bringing up this conversation of holding people accountable, of like, should we have accepted him, and like, is it okay for him to have changed since then? And me personally, I am of the opinion that Tyler is someone who he's always going to just find himself wanting to be sort of provocative, or be somebody that is going to say stuff that people are afraid to say. That's just he hits me as that type of person. He just is not the type that's going to want to go with the grain or go with the flow. He's always going to want to go against it. I think that we do have to sort of acknowledge, number one, that where he was coming from back then was unacceptable, and that shit was lame as fuck and corny. Yes, like, I understand some people have tried to bring up that him feeling ostracized was justified. You know, like, a lot of niggas do go through that feeling, that phase of feeling weird, and it can manifest in anti-black feelings. And you know what? As somebody that can somewhat relate to that, as somebody who got told growing up, you know, I sounded white, or for a while had a lot of majority white friends. I'd say up until middle school, I had a majority, like, shit. Most of my friends were not black, but even then, there was never a point, I feel like, where growing up, where I felt anti-black. There was never a point where I did not like my black skin, where I didn't like the fact that I was black. There's a part of me that really just, like, looking back at some of the shit that Tyler used to post about, and I'm not, and you know, I always knew he was just an edgy motherfucker, because again, talking about the R word, a pregnant girl, and tell my friends at a threesome, that's the type of nigga that he was. That's why I couldn't fuck with him, just like music wise, even though I recognized that there was like good music when you feel it, even sometimes when like a nigga's just saying some shit that's too wild. You know when somebody's just putting together a good song. But I was never, even in my edgiest phase of hating Lil Wayne and fucking with Eminem and all, and again, Eminem was good back in the day. I think he was good up until he really came back from the shit. But even in my days of like hating Lil Wayne because he was on the radio too much and everything like that, I was never a nigga that just didn't fuck with niggas. Like, some of the shit that Tyler has got posted back in the day, that him in a clan outfit, that's some shit that I would have always been like, what the fuck is this? That's why I don't feel like that is a good justification for that, because I feel like, yes, niggas do get ostracized. Yes, niggas do get made to feel weird if we don't fit a certain fucking label or a certain mold. But at the same time, that does not give you an excuse or sort of justify or just sort of give niggas a pass for just starting to do anti-black shit, blatantly just like anti-you shit, or just trying to coon. Like, a nigga coming out and saying I had a whole crowd of white people just chanting the N-word and just trying to post that like that shit is cool, that's always going to be goofy. That's always going to be a dumbass, weird ass shit thing. And it's always going to be like clownish for me to like listen to people try to give this man a pass for that. Yes, he might have grown up. Yes, he might have matured, and it's okay that he has matured. I fuck with him now. I understand that he is probably in a much better and cleaner headspace now. I see it in his music. I hear it in the way he talks about shit now. But that doesn't unlamify what you did back in the day. I've done lame shit in my day. I can be the coolest nigga going forward, but that doesn't unlamify some shit I did in my past. And I think that's just a point where we have to get with Tyler, because if we just continue to, I feel like a lot of people want to not not make excuses, but they just want to say that we sort of have to. I respect the feelings that he had, that he might have felt growing up, not feeling ostracized because he wasn't into the same stuff, or again, he's a bisexual man. Maybe there was feelings of that he got ostracized for. So there's a lot of different shit at factor with Tyler because he's not the typical black man that is that we see in social media, that is like idealized in pop culture. So I sort of get that aspect of it, but it doesn't excuse or give him a pass for the coonery. And we just have to be real about that. Tyler is a grown ass man. I think that he does need to do a better job, as I have seen a lot of other people say, of distancing himself from that because he hasn't. He's sort of just moved in this sense that he just has moved on. That's not who he is. It's almost, it really was a rebrand where he really did not acknowledge that shit. He did not acknowledge the fact that he moved on. He acknowledges the fact that, yo, that's my old shit and it was different and I was just like wild and everything like that. I've heard Earl Sweatshirt do more to really like acknowledge that the shit that they said was harmful and stupid than I ever have had Tyler say. And that's on Tyler. He's going to have to be the one that where if you bothered by the way your fans react when you really are trying to like appreciate black music and black art and you don't fuck with the way that they respond to it, then nigga, you need to really talk to them. You need to be out at your shows making sure you really tell niggas like, yo, this shit is not like, I don't know if you were a fan of the way I used to be back in the day and you think that that's who I am now. If you are just here because of my edgy shit from back in the day, then nigga, I'm not. Nigga, fuck you. I'm not on that no more. Because everybody that he is, that because by just ignoring that and by trying to really not take a look at that type of fan and really talk and discuss with them and have a dialogue with them, you are basically telling them, okay, I still want your support. I'm still going to accept that. I'm still fucking with you too. So you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about him and then not do shit about him. So that's on Tyler. That's what he's got to figure out. Yeah, I've said so. I think that means I ran out of things to say when it comes to it. I just think that Tyler is going to have to take a good long look in the mirror. Maybe this is something that he'll be able to make his next album about because I mean that's the one thing about his past I really haven't seen. He's done so much self-reflection, so much self-exploration over his past couple of works to where now I think is really the time to where you gotta talk about that, my nigga, because there was some shit that I've been finding. Like I didn't know about him being in a clan outfit before this past couple of weeks. I didn't know that he had been doing as much just like cool ass shit that he did, and then to hear this nigga talking about Michael Brown the way he did, and are y'all just gonna like protest and do all this shit now and then not care 2 weeks later? My nigga, what are you can't come out here and try to act like you are this beacon of like, yeah, I really love neo soul and all this, and then do that. That's not how that works. Those are two contradictory things. It's a walking contradiction. So Tyler has to have that discussion. He has to have that inner dialogue, and then it's up to him to really have that public dialogue with his own fan base to really make that shit clear because I fuck with him, but this is sort of the reason why he's not one of the rappers that I really like. I'm a champion for like that because I do think about that type of shit. He is one of those like former edge lords. It is like you and your past is your past because like the nigga was big. Like Tyler and Odd Future back in 2011 was some real important motherfuckers. They had a lot of clout. They had a lot of influence. So that's on him. I think that Tyler has to hopefully make his next album about that. Really, have that discussion and dialogue because I think it could be interesting. Other than that, I don't really know what else he's gonna do. I don't want to hear you complain. But that's all I really got to say about that one. I want to say thank you all for tuning into Kinetic Aesthetic. I've been your host, Jerem. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening in to me in on. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. Drink a lot of water, tell your friends and family that you love them, and just be good people. I'm out.